Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah YAHWASHI. All praise to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHWASHI, Waha, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, better known as the Great Millstone. Shalom and salutations to the elect and the 1/3, the 144,000, and death to 2/3 and all the wicked. This is Romans, the 10th chapter, and I was just kind of going over this. And I'm not really sure where to start. I'll try to get to the points. Um, and we'll start in verse 5. It says, For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise, Say not in thine heart, Who shall ascend into heaven, that is, to bring the anointed down from above, or who shall descend into the deep, that is, to bring up the anointed again from the dead. But what saith it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord YAHWASHI, and shalt believe in thy heart that the Most High Yahweh hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. For the scripture saith, Whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace, and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who hath believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses saith, I will provoke you to jealousy with them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. But Isaiah is very bold, and saith, I was found of them that sought me not, I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me. But to Israel he saith, All day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. Obviously there's a few things going on here. And if we start back in the beginning with Moses, as he mentions, Moses described the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. And that's true. However, the law can be manipulated, and people can still have perverse thoughts with that. And so faith goes beyond that, because your good intentions is through faith, you know, knowing that the Lord is merciful, right? And that's what Paul is alluding to towards the end, how Isaiah was saying that the Most High, YAHWASHI, okay, who would be sent, YAHWASHI, who would be sent, okay, was going to be made manifest, okay, to them that weren't even looking, okay. We weren't looking, you know. It wasn't. It happened, you know. Meaning, you know, we lived however long we lived before we found the truth, but for the longest we weren't looking, you know. But Israel, those who did know and who were in the knowing, especially at this time, they've disobeyed, and they've constantly, as a nation, we constantly had to go into a slavery. You see, so going back up here to the top, and what this is dealing with is with the faith, okay, and the importance of preaching. Okay, the importance of faith and preaching. So It's one thing to say it, right, as in a rehearsal of the law. It's one thing to say it, but to actually do it and to actually believe it with sincerity, that's fulfilling more of the faith. And then to prove that action and what you say, right, and what you believe is to go out there and repeat it and to say it, okay? And that's very big, as Paul is mentioning here, for salvation. It's not just basically that's having works with your faith, because you can observe the law and you can practice the law, but the law in itself is is not going to save you. That's not part of the contract that we're in and entering. So like, so when later on in this portion here where it talks about anyone who believes and there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek, you have to understand why he's saying this and to what extent. And he's talking about Israelites, okay? And YAHWASHI was making that clear and plain also. Okay, Paul didn't come to disrupt anything that YAHWASHI had going on. He came to continue in his portion of that ministry. Okay, and so how are these Jews and Greeks? Why is there no difference in them? Because they are Israelites, and Israel was scattered, as it was said, for their disobedience into all nations, kindreds, and tongues. Okay, for their disobedience, and that's why it's recanted down here in verse 21 that Israel has been disobedient and gainsaying. You see? So here it is, you're going to have Israelites who grow up American, just like back in the day they grew up Greek or, from Corinth or wherever. They grew up that way, right? They didn't know that they were supposed to be adhering to certain things. But what had happened was they were found, okay? When this word hit them, and that's the importance of this word being spoken, when it did hit them, okay, they woke up. And that's just like us here in America. When this word hit us, we woke up. Okay, and that's the power of this word, and that's what all these guys like Vocab and all these preachers are afraid of, is that we're waking up, and now their money making schemes are being brought to an end, and they're being called out, and they don't like that. They don't like being exposed as liars and frauds, and so they're trying to take down as many people to go down with them. They're trying to accumulate as many people as possible. So, like, I gotta end this here. But until next time, shalom.